What is going on, trainers? DrumVillain here, bringing you some more Pokemon Go Battle League PvP content, and today we're talking about the Master League, the Open Master League, which I know is unusual for me. I don't often mess with the Open Master League. I tend to stick to Premier because I don't have many 100% IV, level 50 maxed out legendary Pokemon, which tends to be what you need to compete in this league, so I tend to avoid it for the most part. I do much better in other cups. I don't fancy just tanking ELO and losing matches when I just don't have a chance to keep up because I don't have the Mons built. I do have some interesting level, 100% IV legendary Pokemon, and I don't like to max out a legendary if it's not perfect IVs. I just think it's a bit of a waste of resources because I'm going to want to do a perfect one at some point anyway, which might make me a bit of a stickler, but it is what it is. So I've got a limited selection of stuff to work with, and a lot of Pokemon I'm still wanting to gather XLs for. Like I've got a Hundo Giratina that I would like to get more XL candy for. I've got a 100% Rayquaza, which is, I don't know, level 43 or something, but I just need more XLs for it. 100% Kyogre, which again, need XL candies. So I've got the makings of interesting teams and strong teams, but the stuff I've got ready and actually built at level 50 is a little bit different. So I thought I'd make a video showing at least one of these Pokemon, and that is going to be my Therian Forme Landorus. Now, you may have seen from me scrolling through my 100% legendaries there that I do have a Shundo Incarnate Forme Landorus, which I got in a trade after I had maxed out my Therian Forme Landorus. Otherwise, I would definitely have maxed out the Shundo first, and I do think that Incarnate Forme, despite having a different stat distribution, I think it's also very, very interesting in this league. It's got Earth Power and Rock Slide in comparison to this Therian Forme's Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Superpower. So both very interesting Pokemon, but we're going with the Therian Forme in this video just because I'm still working on XLs gradually for the Incarnate Forme, but unless it comes back in raids, that's going to be quite a long way off. So between the different level 50 legendary / mythical Pokemon I have available to me, it's hard to make a balanced team, which is why we're actually running a non-legendary on today's team. We're going to be running a Therian Landorus on the lead, just because of that superpower, that potential to dip out. We're going to be putting our Mewtwo in the say swap position, which I know Mewtwo, very cliche as a say swap in the Master League. At least if you know the Master League particularly, you'll know that Mewtwo is a very strong, popular say swap. And then Togekiss in the back. And that's just mainly to give a bit of extra coverage against dragons, because Landorus is okay against like Dialga and against other steel types, but it's not the best against all the dragons. So having a bit harder coverage for dragons that can also deal with the dark types, can also deal with Zacian and things like that, is very useful. So we're going to have a level 50 Togekiss, level 50 Landorus, level 50 Mewtwo. The Therian Forme Landorus is going to be best buddied as well, so it's level 51. If that makes a difference in any matchups, I don't really think it does. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that. I'm really not as experienced with the Master League as other leagues, so if I've got some amateur playing here, or I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing in certain matchups and I make silly mistakes, just be patient with me. This is more of just a showcase of the team, more than me pretending like I know exactly what I'm doing in this league compared to like the Great and Ultra League. So, now that I've completely undermined your confidence in me in this league, hit the subscribe button if you're new, if you haven't already, hit the like button if you enjoy the video overall by the time it's over, and let's take a look at some actual matchups, some battles, and how this team functions against some of the more popular Master League picks. And right off the bat, we run into a pretty big issue for this team, and that's Mamoswine on the lead, because both Landorus and Togekiss are weak to Mamoswine, so that's a pretty big concern all on its own. But we're going to swap straight into Mewtwo, and this opponent's going to choose to stay in against us, which I'm not going to complain about for sure, because Mewtwo is actually our best matchup for Mamoswine. And honestly, I swapped out of desperation, but generally if you have a lead like that, you kind of have to just stay in and do what you can. But Landorus gets destroyed so hard by the ice, I'd rather get Togekiss lined up with it instead and try and put some charm work in. But they choose to gain the shield advantage and let Mamoswine go. So I'm ecstatic with that at this point, because Mamoswine could easily have destroyed my team here. Like, Mewtwo is the only level matchup, and that's iffy at best anyway, because Mewtwo is a little bit squishy. So they're going to take an Ice Beam on Dialga after we get a shield out of them, and we're going to bring in Landorus. Now, it's worth saying that on our Landorus, we are actually running Superpower and Earthquake. A lot of people in this league opt to run Stone Edge on Landorus so they can hit Lugia and Ho-Oh and the other fliers for better damage. And I think, well, we're running on the lead, so we can swap out of bad leads, and we're just going to hope that we get away with Earthquakes and Superpowers. And it works out pretty well for me, but also Stone Edge is strong. It's worth having. There's a strong case to be made for any of those moves, but I'm running Superpower and Earthquake. Stone Edge is very good as well. Any of them are completely fine. But we are going to be able to take the win in this game just thanks to Togekiss getting the edge at the end and being able to charm its way through Palkia and Dialga. And that's one of the reasons why I think Charmers are a little bit slept on in this meta, is just the ability to just sweep through teams that are consisting heavily of dragons. Okay, Groudon lead. If you're not running Earthquake on your Landorus, Groudon's an iffy matchup because you have to throw superpowers to get reliable damage off because Stone Edge is going to be resisted. But when you've got Earthquake, you're looking a lot better because you're resisting their Precipice Blades or their Earthquake or whatever. Fire Punch isn't that strong of a move, so it's not going to be that threatening to you either. It takes a while for them to add up. So this is a better position for us to be in overall. Bang! The Earthquake does massive damage. It hits everything like a truck because Therian Landorus is pretty attack weighted, and it's stab, and Earthquake's just a fantastically hard hitting move as well. So we're going to go for the Superpower here before the Groudon gets another move off. Another thing, Therian Landorus wins CMP against so many Pokemon. It loses to Mewtwo because everything loses CMP to Mewtwo, but it wins against almost everything else in this league, which is a super nice position to be in. This opponent's bringing some spice here with Nihilego in the back, and we did swap out aggressively into Mewtwo against a Lugia, which isn't the best shout, but we didn't want to get Landorus farmed down entirely, and they've swapped out kind of on instinct and brought in Nihilego into Mewtwo, which is a big mistake because Poison's going to be weak to the Psychic. Psystrike's going to absolutely ruin their day, so we're in a very strong position here. We can definitely deal with the Nihilego. They are going to get shields. No? This is a Rock Slide. It might not take us out. It does. That's fine. We've got Landorus here. We can get to an Earthquake. Double super effective. Absolutely decimate them. And then Togekiss with a single shield advantage can put in a lot of work against pretty much anything that's not a steel. And against Lugia especially, because we're going to be double resisting that Dragon Tail fast move, which usually makes Lugia so versatile in this league. If we shield up an Aero Blast, we're looking very good here. We don't. We shield up a Sky Attack. But that's fine. Togekiss can survive an Aero Blast. It gets low, it does a lot of damage, but you can take it. So they need to land an Aero Blast and a Sky Attack, and they can't get there before we get to this second Ancient Power and finish them off. Aero Blast to come through, bang, big damage you can see, gets us pretty low, but they don't boost. Wouldn't matter if they did, there wouldn't quite be enough time for the extra damage to take us out. We get to the Ancient Power, we finish them off. It's a little bit close, but it's a GG's and it's our win. You may have noticed our Togekiss is running Flamethrower and not Aura Sphere. I evolved this Togekiss before Togetic Community Day was even announced, but I like Flamethrower on Togekiss just as much. It doesn't make that much of a difference in a lot of situations. Right, Togekiss lead. This is terrible because we're running Ground and Fighting, so Togekiss is double resisting everything we've got here, but they don't know we've not got Stone Edge. So we're going to go ahead, build up to what a Stone Edge would be, throw a Superpower, we get a shield. Fantastic. Swap out to Mewtwo. What are they going to do? Giratina. Pretty bad news, right? This is going to hurt. We're not going to go for the Ice Beam. Ice Beam's not going to one-shot Giratina here. Psystrike is going to two-shot, though, so it puts a little bit more pressure on this Giratina to throw sooner. But we are going to shield up. It's completely fine. Shame it's an Ominous Wind Bait because we would have survived that and it would have taken... it wouldn't have taken us out. We could have then got a shield out of them or one switch advantage in this situation, but doesn't matter. They're going to go ahead and throw here. This might be worth a shield. Nope, we'll let it go. It's just Ominous Wind, but does finish us off all the same. And we're going to bring in Togekiss, Charm down entirely. Doesn't matter what this is. It's probably just another Ominous Wind. I don't think they've got the energy for a Shadow Ball. It is. That's completely fine. Charm them down. We've got a head on energy, and we're hoping to get Ancient Power off on the Togekiss. They come in with Dialga rather than their own Togekiss, which is a little bit awkward for us because we need the energy on this thing. So we're just going to keep charming away, shield up the Iron Head because it would do a devastating amount of damage. And we've got a ton of energy here. And they catch the Flamethrower on their own bloody Togekiss. They timed that so well. We would have done so much more damage if we would have got this off. And their Togekiss going to get to a move here. This is iffy, right? We've obviously lost this game. Surely, right? This is all gone to pot. Just believe. Believe in Landorus. Believe in how hard this double resisted Earthquake can hit. This is going to blow your mind because you know how bulky Togekiss is. We're able to mudshot them down. We've got a Superpower loaded, and we're going to take out Dialga here, and we're just going to take this match with a sliver of health. When they caught that Flamethrower on Togekiss, I was convinced we'd lost that game. But Landorus, 1 HP and a dream. That best buddy boost came in handy, gave us like 1 extra HP to etch that game out by the skin of our teeth. So we're out of the gate with a solid 4-1 set, which For me, in the Master League, at this kind of reload range, at this stage in the season, I'm very, very happy with. Moveset wise as well, by the way, guys, I'm running Ice Beam on Mewtwo as well as Psy Strike. I didn't want to spend an Elite Charge TM to give it Shadow Ball as well. I think Shadow Ball is a fantastic move to pair with Psy Strike, but also Focus Blast, Flamethrower, Thunderball, Ice Beam. I like to have it to have extra coverage against the Fliers, but you can go with whatever charge move you feel is preferable for Mewtwo. I just think for this lineup, personally, Ice Beam is the one that makes the most sense. Okay, Zacian lead, Zacian lead, Wacky Zaki lead, whatever you want to call this dog. We're in here with Landorus, and this means a lot of Zacian are running Wild Charge and Close Combat. If that's the case, we resist all the charge moves and have nothing to worry about here. Close Combat, see, not particularly threatening, and it means the Earthquake that we've got hits absolutely massively, done big damage. This Superpower will take them out if they don't shield. They don't. Zacian handled in the 0 shield, no worries whatsoever. Now, we swap out aggressively to Mewtwo because, again, we don't want to get farmed down by these bloody Lugia, especially once they've seen our charge moves. Like that Lugia has just seen that we've thrown Earthquake and Superpower. They know it has absolutely nothing to worry about and can farm us down entirely. We don't want them to get that much energy off on us. So we're going to swap out Mewtwo aggressively, which isn't the smartest move in general. Lugia is a good answer to Mewtwo unless you got Shadow Ball, but it does scare them into swapping into Dialga, which we're going to go ahead and throw 2 Ice Beams at. Take them out, that's fantastic. Lugia comes in to farm us down. We throw the Ice Beam. Give us a shield or give us big, big damage. We're going to get the shield probably. Yeah, we do, that's fine. This Lugia is now thrown 6 Dragon Tails, so they're getting close to an Aero Blast, and we've got 1 shield. We'd rather not them get one through anyway if we can avoid it. So 8, 9, we swap to Landorus to try and catch an Aero Blast, which we're not able to do. They're still going to throw a charge move here, which is a bit of a saving grace for us because they could have got even more energy out of us here and come out with easily 100 energy ready to dump into Togekiss. They throw some at us. So, we have a chance of this game, but we have to ideally shield an Aero Blast. We let it through, it's Aero Blast. Okay, this is bad news, but we can still win-ish. I'm pretty sure we can still win this match. We throw Ancient Power, we get the shield, that's fine. We don't boost, that's unfortunate, but they still need to land a Sky Attack, and unless they get to 2, they're not going to be able to win. And I believe we CMP tie here, so they must have just got the energy for the 2 Sky Attacks back to back, but we get Ancient Power through. Doesn't quite KO, but we boost. And if this is if this back-to-back Sky Attack, we'll lose by 1 HP and a dream, but we don't. They're not quite there. They throw in the fast move. We take them out. We take the win. Close match. GG's. Straight on into matchup number 7, Dialga lead. Okay, this is what you're hoping to see, right? With a Landorus lead. We got a ground type on the steel type. This is ideal. We're going to build up, not quite to 2 superpowers, but they still swap out and catch Superpower on Giratina. If we'd have thrown Earthquake, they'd have been regretting that swap because it would have obliterated Giratina. But they catch Superpower, they dispel some of our energy. It's a little unfortunate, but we can just bring in Togekiss here. And we're just going to go for the big old Charm down. I don't think we're going to shield again. If they throw, they don't. They go down. We've got a bit of energy. If we had Aura Sphere, this would be more threatening to Dialga if it comes back in, but it doesn't matter. Flamethrower's going to do absolutely plenty for us, and probably still going to get a shield out of them because they're expecting possibly Aura Sphere. So they're going to shield up. They're going to farm us down. Right. So we've got Switch advantage. We've got a shield advantage. Landorus also has a Superpower pretty much loaded here as well. We're going to shield up the first move just in case it's Draco Meteor. No, it's the Iron Head. We throw a Superpower straight away. This will take them out or get the last shield, see what they choose to do. They're going to shield. We're going to swap to Mewtwo to clear the debuff, just to get ahead on energy, because Mewtwo with 1 or 2 Psycho Cuts, even if we give the shield here, can do a ton of work on pretty much everything in the meta. Palkia comes in, right? Palkia got access to Aqua Tail, probably got Draco Meteor as well, just for that big nuke move. They can't survive 2 Psy Strikes, so we're going to get this off. I think we even CMP tie there, which is really unfortunate for the opponent because I think they overcharged a little bit past the Aqua Tail, but that's going to absolutely seal their fate because now we can get to a Psy Strike before they get to a move, take them out, wipe them out. Job is a good one. GG's. So you can see that so far this team's holding its own against a lot of top meta lines for the Master League in general, but there is a lot of bluffing involved. There's a lot of bluffing Stone Edge from Landorus, bluffing Focus Plus from Mewtwo, things like that, but it is a very strong team. Right, another Dialga lead. How is this one going to choose to play it? Now, since they caught a Superpower in the previous game, we're like, well, screw it, we'll throw Earthquake, give us a shield, or get one-shot, because Superpower doesn't quite one-shot Dialga. It gets them pretty low, but they can still throw a move, get a shield out of you before you can one-shot them down. So I figured let's go for the Earthquake, and then if they want a shield, we'll match it. Now that they're a little lower, we're going straight for the Superpower, because this will take them out from this range. If they don't shield it, They do. We can still get to another Superpower before we get Dragon Breath down. They're going to try and catch on Giratina. We can swap Togekiss straight in. And they've got a slight energy advantage, which means we have to shield to win this matchup. Even though it's Togekiss on a Dragon, we know how good Origin Form Giratina is. I'm going to throw the Ancient Power as soon as we get there, which will get them low, but not quite KO them. And they can throw another move here and take us out. We're fine with that. We're going to let it go. Bring in Mewtwo. Psycho Cut down. They've got no shields. Mewtwo's the sweeper when shields are down. We've got 4 Psycho Cuts worth of energy. That's a monstrous amount of energy for a Mewtwo. Dialga comes in, gets the last shield out of us. That's fine. Now we know we can farm up even more. They're going to swap straight into Lugia because they're obviously a little bit worried about all this energy on Mewtwo and what we're going to do with it. If we had Shadow Ball at this point, we'd be looking a little bit better because look at that Ice Beam. It's not quite doing 50%, which means we need 2 Ice Beams and a Psy Strike to take them out, and they're going to be able to knock us out with this Sky Attack here, and that's means it's going to be all up to Landorus with very little health. I think our Landorus doesn't quite actually have any health at all. Yeah, we have a Superpower, but no health left on it, so we're just going to get taken out. Very close game. GG's to the opponent. In that situation, if we'd have had Shadow Ball on Mewtwo instead of Ice Beam, we would have 2-shot the Lugia and won that match, so consider it the price we pay for not having Shadow Ball on Mewtwo and choose Ice Beam at your own risk. Right. Another Dark Lead, 3rd in a row. This one's a shiny, so they're flexing on us pretty hard. What move we're going to throw? Superpower. Right, we're still experimenting between matches on which move we like to throw first at Dialga, depending on whether or not we expect them to shield. This one doesn't shield, so we try to snap them down with Togekiss. They still get the move off, so we're better off shielding. Iron Head hits like a bloody truck. But still, Dialga is dealt with, and Landorus is left in pretty decent health for the end game. Lugia is going to come in to meet Togekiss, which isn't the best matchup for Lugia as we've established because that oppressive Dragon Tail's been double resisted. So we're going to throw Ancient Power as soon as we get to it and keep chipping away. Now, this is obviously an Aero Blast because we've used a shield already. So we're going to shield up. We figure if you bring in Lugia into Togekiss, maybe you're a little weak to it in the back. So we're going to throw even more Charms and then throw an Ancient Power before they get to another Aero Blast just to tempt them to shield, which they're going to. And that's completely fine for us. Now if they throw Aero Blast, at least they're down to 1 shield. We've got a reasonably healthy Landorus and a very healthy Mewtwo. Groudon in the back. Okay, Landorus has play here because it'll be double resisting Precipice Blades or Earthquake, whichever one of those charge moves it's got, and Fire Punch won't take them out. So, Mewtwo, can you take a move here? It's Precipice Blades, hits like a truck, ow, but we're going to get 2 Psy Strikes off here, which is ideally going to give us a shield out of this Groudon. The shield up the first move. Can we get to an Ice Beam? Probably not. Let's just throw the Psy Strike straight away, get the chip damage, and then hopefully this Groudon's going to be in Superpower range. Yeah, it definitely is looking at that. And we've got the energy. We're going to throw this before they even get this move off, take them out, take the win. GG. They were throwing a move there, but even unless it was Solar Beam or Fire Blast, it wouldn't take us out. And oh, the Lugia's still alive in the back. Oh, what's happening? Okay, well, they try and catch a Superpower on Dialga. They don't, they fail, they surrender their GGs. I forgot that all their Pokemon were still alive at that point. I was like, oh, it's just a Groudon to deal with. That would have been scary. I've lost games to doing that, to forgetting that they've still got Pokemon like with a sliver of health left in the back that I haven't dealt with and just stopped tapping. Okay, Mewtwo lead, kind of a pain in the ass because Psy Strike hits so hard, but also if they think we've got Stone Edge, they know they can survive a Stone Edge very comfortably, whereas Earthquake's going to ruin their day. So let the Psy Strike go through. Hits us hard, right? We're down in the red. Earthquake hits Mewtwo a little bit harder. Boom. Smidgen, right. So we can farm. No, we can't farm them down. They had a ton of energy they built up extra from the Earthquake charge. What am I talking about? Let Landorus go. Doesn't matter. Bring with our own Mewtwo. Farm them down. Get a bit of energy. See what's in the back. There's a Giratina. Okay, scary. Swap to Togekiss. What's in the back? Dialga. Okay, we're kind of depending on Togekiss to win this game. The win condition really is to get through this Dialga and charm the Giratina down to single Psy Strike range. That's the only situation really in which we win this game. We have to give up shield against the Dialga. If they shield this, they'll get a second shield out of us with the Iron Head, which is a little unfortunate, but it will mean that we get to an Ancient Power against the Giratina. If they choose to shield that Ancient Power, that's best case scenario because we really want to get the damage through for Mewtwo, but they're unlikely to shield an Ancient Power because Giratina doesn't really have to be scared of it. We should really have thrown an extra couple of Charms while we could there, just to see if we could kind of bluff maybe a potential Dazzling Gleam or something, just to maybe scare them into shielding. But they don't. They're going to throw a Shadow Ball, take us out. can Mewtwo get to 2 Psy Strikes here before they get to another Shadow Ball? And you're going to see here with CMP tie. So we've got 2 Psy Strikes loaded. We're going to get one off, get the shield, but then their Shadow Ball is going to get forced through before our second Psy Strike, and we're going to lose the match by literally 1 fast turn, which I'm pretty happy with, to be honest, because Giratina locked against Mewtwo and then Dialga against the Togekiss is pretty rough to deal with, so pushing it that close, I'm pretty content with that. So yeah, that's the team. I think it's pretty solid for being a little different from the usual Open Master League meta, but let me know what you guys think down below, and were there any of those Hundo Legendary Mythicals at the beginning of the video that I was showing that you particularly would like to see more of, that you're interested in, because maybe I'll invest some resources in building one of those next. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and as always, I will catch you absolute legends next time.